I had decided to move to Carlisle before I worked out where I was going to live. When my wife eventually decided that it was time to tell me what the rest of my life was going to be like, I had to tell her, no, it wasn't. This is what I'm going to do. You can do what you like. Disbelieving, I think, is probably as good a word as any. She didn't think I could do it. In fact, neither did my younger daughter certainly didn't think I could do it either. So there were points in the earlier days when everything was on the floor.
Yeah, I'm sure there would have been, but
and I thought, oh, I'm not sure I can do this. But you just keep at it, keep chipping away.
Yeah,
keep chipping away.
on average, how much do you reckon?
Twice, possibly 4 miles, 3, say 3, probably about 20 miles a week. Just wandering around Carlisle. Guess, that's a guess. I've been obsessive about railways since I was about 12 years old.
Wow. These are all your journals?
These are all my spotting books, yeah. So that's, back in this corner's 1967 and it goes on and on all the way up to date. 1st of July 1988, okay? It was a week before they were getting rid of paper trains. And I took my bike on the train from Bristol and cycled around London during the night. I remember it starting to get light at 4:15 and I was standing on London Bridge Station and the last of the paper trains had gone. And it was time to think about starting to go home. And I caught the 7:20 train in the morning from Paddington back to Temple Meads with my bike, the bike that's out there. The way I do it is that I relate the scanned-in sets of negatives to my train spotting books.
And it's so that you can
Because it's very unlikely that any set of 36 negatives doesn't have a train in for decades of photography. A few years ago, one of my friends in Bristol said, "How do you work out when these photographs are taken?" And I said, "Just because I've got these fantastic things called train spotting books. And so as long as I can relate the photographs to a train, I can find it in my train spotting books that go all the way back to the beginning of my time, really, 1967. There's not an enormous number of places I haven't been to. Done virtually everything in Scotland. Pretty sure I've done everything in Wales, actually. And now I've come to Carlisle to pick them to look at this place as one place where I live and knew something about, and am now filling in some of the gaps. But the thing that's missing is the real visitor focus for the railway heritage of Carlisle. That's the focus that's missing. These things just take time to evolve. And that's true of both my domestic situation and the work that I've started to attempt to get some involvement in with railway heritage stuff. A thing that will make me happy is having done enough to do something for the railway heritage of Carlisle. There are other people who know a lot more than me, and I'm never going to attempt to replicate their knowledge. But if there's an opportunity there to do something about explaining the railway heritage of Carlisle, of which there is not much explanation, and I can play a part in that, then that's a good thing to be able to do. Because I thought it had all been built over. I thought there was nothing here. And what you can loosely call the official record said it's been built on, and I thought it had been built on. And by pure chance, I found out at the beginning of last year that it hasn't been built on. And I came down and looked at it, and at that time, the external larger turntable rim had been exposed. This was February, so the vegetation was down, the leaves were off the trees, and you get a really good view. And I stood there and thought, wow, how good is this? I think it's special, I think it's exciting, and I think that we should be doing something about it, which is what we're trying to do. My nirvana for this is to have the big turntable pit excavated and have something that demonstrates what that turntable is all about. I would like a proper ecological survey of exactly what's here. So I have a serious background of some years working in the field of voluntary nature conservation, with particular reference to woodland management. So when I come to Engine Lonning and I see a nature reserve with the foundations of a steam locomotive shed underneath it, I have my usual saying, which is, "Wow, how good is this?" Yeah. So when people come to Carlisle to stay with me or visit me and they say, "Well, what are you going to do?" I said, "Well, there's this really nice nature reserve that has also got two turntables in it. We can go and have a look." Because I think after, well, now nearly 2.5 years of purposeful, focused work, I've reached a point where I have my life under control.
All in all, you're settled. Like
Yes.
Things aren't on the floor anymore.
Things aren't on the floor anymore. But I will find things to do. So it's not just about railways, it's about the way I've created a life in Carlisle in which I can enjoy my railways, but there's all this other stuff as well.
Well,
which includes just sitting in the Woodrow Wilson thinking, how good is this? I don't have to do anything apart from read this book. And I haven't got anybody going on at me about anything else.
Exactly.
My full name is Anthony John Skinner, normally referred to as Tony. I'm 63 years old. I was born in London. I've now come to live in Carlisle. I've been obsessive about railways since I was about 12 years old. I have my spotting books that go back for now more than 50 years of the trains I've seen and the places I've been. And I've not finished yet. How about that? And it's an end of terrace with an alleyway. So on one side it's got the end of the terrace, and the other side it's got the alleyway. So if I want to play Black Sabbath slightly loud, no one can hear it.
You a big Black Sabbath fan?
Yeah. I've got a tattoo. You've seen it?
I have seen it. These guys haven't seen it.